Hi guys, this is Sam with TGN.TV and today I'm going to show you an Arcane made PvP guide. So, I'm going to go over a few things such as enchanting, gemming, reforging, talents and glyphs. So I'm going to start off with the primary attributes first of all though. Your primary attribute is intellect. That is it guys. For mages it's all you need. You'll notice that all the gear has stamina and intellect on. You need nothing else but that in terms of primary attributes. No strength, no agility, definitely no spirit. So, onto the gemming, right. Sorry, enchanting first. On my headpiece I have got the Honor enchant, which costs around 2k Honor. It gives me 60 intellect and 35 resilience rating. Now you can get another head enchant from one of the Cataclysm reputations, but I haven't grinded the reputation at all on this character, so I'm using this one. Plus the resilience is a nice bonus. On my shoulders I've also got the Honor enchant. This costs around 1k Honor. It gives you 50 intellect and 25 resilience. On my cloak I've got 50 intellect. On my chest 15 to all stats. On bracers 50 crit strike. Gloves 50 haste. On my legs I've got a powerful enchanted spell thread, I think it's called. Gives me 95 intellect and 80 stamina. Now the other alternative to this is 95 intellect and something like 60 spirit or something like that. You don't want spirit guys, so go for the stamina. For my feet I have got 50 haste rating and I've got no enchant on my rings because I'm not enchanting. Now on my weapon I've got Hurricane. Now I'd advise you to get Power Torrent if you've got enough money. Power Torrent has a proc chance to give you spell power. Hurricane just increases your haste by 450. And on my offhand I've got a 40 intellect enchant. Now I will say guys, for PvP as Arcane spec, the two stats you need in terms of the equip bonuses are going to be crit and haste. So in terms of reforging and gemming, it's quite easy. So I'm going to go through gemming now. On my meta socket I've got 54 intellect and 2% maximum mana. I'm going to tell you why I've done this. Some people will be wondering why I haven't got the 54 intellect and 3% increased crit damage. Well, because I'm playing Arcane spec, the more mana you have, the more damage you do in conjunction with your mastery. So this is why I've got that glyph in guys. On red sockets you want to put 40 intellect. They're called Brilliant Infernal Rubies. Get them in. So on every other socket, blue and yellow, I've tried to put an orange or purple to get my 20 intellect. So you'll notice on my yellow there I've got 20 intellect and 20 haste. My red 40 intellect, 20 intellect and 20 haste there again. And there I've got my 20 intellect and 20 hit. 20 intellect and 30 stamina. 20 intellect and 20 hit again. 20 intellect and 20 haste. Also guys, I'll put a link to my armory in the description below in case you want to look at it. In terms of reforging, there's not a lot that needs to be done. Because your gemming wants to be the same as your enchants, you want to try and get crit and haste on your gems as much as possible. Definitely intellect. Reforging, basically all I did was reforged any mastery or just a little bit of haste to get my hit cap up, because the hit cap for mages is 4%. This means that if you've got it at 4%, you will not miss any spells on 85 targets. So you need that for PvP. So in terms of reforging, I've just reforged my Helm Mastery into a little bit of hit to get my hit cap. There again I've reforged a little bit of mastery to get my hit off my shoulders. I've left the crit because you'll notice that Mage PvP gear has crit and haste mostly, and that's fantastic because that's what you need for PvP, so you don't need to reforge it a lot. Yeah, and I think that's it for reforging. I've reforged my legs there, a little bit of haste and a crit. And that's it. Just make sure you've got hit and crit. Sorry, not hit and crit. You want a little bit of hit to get your hit cap. Haste and crit, definitely. So I'm going to go through talents now, guys. And these are talents which I prefer to use. I've been testing out a few different talent trees for the Arcane spec, and this one works the best for me. So on the top row, I've got two talents in Arcane Concentration. Now because this gives you a clear casting state which reduces the mana cost of your next spell by 100%, this helps conserve mana, therefore the more mana you have, the more damage you do in conjunction with the Arcane Mastery. I've skipped out improved counterspell. It is useful sometimes in arena, but because I don't play Arcane in arena a lot, I've decided not to put it in. 3 talents in Netherwind Presence. You want as much haste as you can because Arcane Blast is quite a slow hit. But due to the last patch, guys, I will say this, Arcane Blast has been reduced from 2.35 second cast to a 2-second cast. So this is good as well. Torment of the Weak. You basically, this is this primary talent. You want to have these in because your arcane damage spells deal 6% more damage to snared or slow targets, and about 100% of the time in PvP your target will be snared, whether it be with your snares, friendly snares, they'll be rooted, whatever. You're going to have a snared target 100% of the time in PvP, especially with the later talent and Nether Vortex. Invocation, I like having this talent on. It helps me burst down healers if I interrupt them with a counter spell. Gives me a 10% damage bonus. Now in the last patch 4.0.6 I didn't have arcane missiles in, and I'll tell you why. Because they didn't do a lot of damage, but they've been increased by 13%, which is, you know, quite a significant amount of damage. So I'll put these in now, and these work quite well. Okay, Arcane Flows, self-explanatory, reduces the cooldowns of your vital spells and evocation by 2 minutes. So that's a great heal, guys. Presence of Mind, you want that talent, it'll make your next cast instant. It's good for getting an instant polymorph off for CC, or an instant Arcane Blast for a little bit of burst. Prismatic Cloak, self-explanatory, reduces all damage taken by 6% and the fade time of your invisibility by 3 seconds. You'll need that for PvP, guys, because you can use invisibility to in a similar way as Vanish or Rogue. Even if you've got a dot on you or you're getting damaged, if you pop that in the middle of a fight, they won't be able to target you. They'll have to retarget you by either clicking or pressing tab, which, you know, takes up a little bit of their time, and you can get the edge on getting the next spell off before they do. Arcane Tactics, you know, you want this. It gives you a nice 3% damage bonus to not only yourself but party and raid members. Incanter's Absorption is one of my favourite talents. Okay, so once you've got your mana shield or mage ward up and it absorbs damage, 20% of that damage is converted into spell power, which is fantastic, because when you've got mage just mana shield up, I can get around about 650 spell power there, guys, and that's not a bad bonus. Also, in addition to that, when the mana shield is destroyed, you knock back targets 12 yards, sorry, within 6 yards. And this is great against melee because you haven't got a lot of survivability in Arcane Spec.